Hi, and welcome to another edition of Bauer Business Bites. My name is David Tighe, and I'm the MD of Bauer Media here in Northern Ireland. I'm delighted that our guest today is Janice Gault. Janice is the CEO of the Northern Ireland Hotels Federation. Janice, welcome to Business Bites.
Good afternoon, David. How are you? Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too, and it's even nicer to hear that the businesses you represent are on their way back to being fully operational again, the Northern Ireland Hotels Federation. So let's get straight into it. How important was it that that date was brought forward for your membership?
I think we'd always worked on a principle of choice, David, and for a number of people, getting the entire summer season was very important to them. They wanted to make sure that they could trade for as long as possible over what, for many destinations, is a very short period. It also brings us much closer in line with the trajectory in the Irish Republic. So we basically have a summer season to trade, and we felt that if we didn't get out earlier, that we could lose an opportunity.
Yeah, you're a part of a £1 billion tourism industry in Northern Ireland, and you mentioned in the past that the resilience of hotel owners, given how optimistic the future hopefully is going to be. Are you convinced or are your membership convinced that the industry is going to bounce back quickly, or do you think it's going to take longer?
I think we have a job of work to do. I don't think it's going to be an instant fix. I think there's a lot of elements of this that we simply don't know. So it's a question of getting yourself prepared. But I think once you've made the decision to open, it gives you a better fighting chance. So for many people, they are looking at a period where they will simply trade. They probably will trade at a break even or a loss position. But in the longer term, they would look forward to returning to profit.
And I mean, obviously, no one knows what the future holds, but I think opening is a start, and opening gets the job going, if you like. But I suppose one of the big questions that most people would be thinking about now is how does the 2 meter rule apply in a hotel? How's that going to work for your membership?
It does present a problem for everybody. Particularly presents a problem in bars, hotel restaurants. Bedrooms are not really an issue. And partly behind the scenes, it does present a problem. We are currently working on a number of different ways of mitigating that. There will be certain operations within a hotel facility where occasionally you mightn't always be able to work at a 2 meter distance, but we are looking at the different elements of that. There have been some movements, for example, today in the Irish Republic, they're talking about a 1 meter rule for 90 minutes. Not entirely sure how workable that is. But if we look at other destinations, some of them started off at 2 meters and have gradually moved down. Others in a country like France, for example, who went from major lockdown in a period of 3 weeks to total reopening. So we are hopeful, if the science backs this up, and also that we can ensure that people are safe in that environment, and also that they are reassured that if we're operating in 1 meters, they will consider it safe for them to come.
Yeah, so I suppose, do you have a defined view about whether you want that 2 meter rule? If Diane Dodds was watching this, and I know she does tune in from time to time to Business Bites, would you be saying to her that you want it down to one?
I think that would be the overall wish of the industry. I think Minister Dodds has been a big advocate of getting the industry back. And I think she certainly has been looking in a very favourable light to the movement to 1 meter. But we've got to make sure that people are honest with that journey. And that's an important thing to stress. We would like to see it move to 1 meter. It certainly makes business much more viable. It means that it creates a much better structure for us as an entire economy. The whole tourism economy would benefit from it. And we are hopeful that in the coming weeks we will be able to move from 2 meters to 1 meter.
And I suppose one other aspect of returning to hotel life is safety. I mean, it's not only is it safety an issue for the people who work in hotels, but also for the people who visit hotels and the potential customers. So confidence is probably going to play a big part in this return. So what kind of work is going on with your membership to instill confidence not only in the communities of people that will visit the hotels, but perhaps even the communities around hotels?
I think there's a lot of work going on. We've been working on a set of guidelines, which will be UK wide, but amended for Northern Ireland. They very much work on the principle of a risk assessment, of people working in consultation with their employees, looking at their operations, the physical structure of the building, and ensuring that they're COVID compliant. They also look at an enhanced sanitation process and also a contract in some ways, not actually written, but with your guests that come who have a responsibility as well. We feel it's very important that we have that. There are also moves to having a UK-wide charter mark where people would actually be staying safely. And that would be very important for local communities. We will be bringing people in to spend money to support the economy, but it's important that those people get a welcome and that people within a local community are happy to welcome visitors to their location. The work for that is at a final stage. We are hoping that most of it will be completed and ready to go next week. And it's important that we have those particular features in place so that people do really get that element of people are back and that we have a job to do. I think we're the one industry that can not alone restore the economy, but we can also restore certain elements of social activity. A number of businesses based around the country really operate on the premise that they will make money over the summer season so that they can provide a service to the community throughout the winter.
And I suppose finally, it's great to hear about the fantastic work, and it must have been so hard for your members over the last number of months, like many other people. But what are the other challenges that you think are coming down the line for the hotel industry in the next couple of months, aside from the ones that you've illustrated?
I think for us, it's really bringing back other markets. It's, people from the domestic tourist market will be first, then we'll have the Irish Republic. Hopefully, we'll have the UK more or less in tandem with that. It's getting air connectivity up. We're an island. How does that come back? And I suppose it's getting additional support in the longer term. We've been the rates relief for this year. It's how it plans out into next year actually works for us. And I suppose the issue of staff, how do we retain the skills that we need, develop new skills, and ensure that we continue to trade profitably? Those are really the big challenges. We see promotion of this island. We have a new brand to launch, which is a really nice brand. It's called Embrace a Giant Spirit. And we really see we have a giant task to make sure that the message that Northern Ireland is a great destination to come to gets out there. And of course, we've got great hotels for people to stay in.
Well, Bauer Media Northern Ireland will play its part in supporting your members over the coming weeks and months and into the future as we help to
Thank
reboot
you.
the Northern Ireland economy. And we wish you and your membership only the very best in the coming weeks and months ahead. So, Janice, thank you very much for being our guest today and for bringing us up to date.
Thank you, David, for your support. Thank you.